What's going on, YouTube? Holy cow. It is so great to be with you. Listen, we are jumping on here live tonight for the very first time. I've never done anything like this, and I don't know if we're going to do it again. Let's see how it goes. I'm excited to be here. You can see I'm here in studio tonight. Rev, my man, is not. He is live at Mardi Gras tonight. He has flown down to New Orleans, and he'll be there all week long performing at Tin Roof in New Orleans. They flew him all the way down there, and y'all keep Rev in your thoughts and prayers because you never know what will happen at Mardi Gras, and I need Rev to come back to Fayetteville in one piece. So what happens at Mardi Gras stays at Mardi Gras, but y'all be thinking about my boy Rev and praying for my guy so that he comes back safe and sound. But wish that dude all the best. I'm so grateful that he gets to do that. Tin Roof is so lucky to have a guy of his caliber, and I'm glad that he got the nod and the invite to come down. But what I wanted to talk about tonight is I'm going to put together just about 15 minutes of just how you can become a private event DJ. If maybe you're DJing in the club or maybe you're DJing as a hobby, how do you become a private event DJ? We've been getting asked a lot of questions like this from our podcast. We get a lot of questions inside of YouTube and on Instagram about how do I become a private event DJ. And so tonight I'm just going to share about 3 different ways that I would say you could break into doing private events if you're a DJ. You know what? The first one that I would just point to you guys is, and this is not something that I did. This is actually something that Rev did with me. And so I wanted to share this because I know this is what he would say. The first one is, especially if you're a club DJ and you've never been a wedding DJ before, like you've never even seen it, you've heard about it, you've been to a couple weddings or whatever, but you just need some context. Because here's the deal. Honestly, if you have the skill set in a club, then the skill sets can transfer over. They're not the same. Make no mistake about it, but they can transfer over. And so what I did want you to do is I want you to reach out to a wedding DJ or private event DJ in your area and shadow them. You know what Jonathan Ravel did with me is that guy, he didn't need to shadow anybody, but you know what he did? He called me. We went to lunch. We sat down. We talked about some of his goals and some of the things that he had experienced. And then he said this. He said, Russ, can I just come and shadow you for an event or two and really see what your process is all about? And you know what, man? I was like, for sure. Come on. And at that point, Rev came and he spent a couple evenings with me, and he was so helpful. He was so giving. He lugged gear around and all those things. Like, man, I mean, it was super helpful. And so in that regard, it was like, well, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to ask this person to come along with me and become one of our DJs. This is easy. And so I literally plugged Rev in and gave him as many events as I possibly could that year. And here we are working together full time pretty much. And so like, that's the kind of thing that I would 100% advise for you to do is, especially if you're new to the game, that you just find somebody that's doing it the right way, that's doing it the way that you would want to do it, and just model that. Go see what they've got going on, see how you can add value to their team and potentially be on their team and be on their, squad. And then if you want to, then you kind of break off and you start doing your own thing as you develop relationships. And so the next step would be to develop relationships with your vendor community. I want to say this really quickly. So this January, you guys, this is no joke. This January is the biggest January that we've had to date for Ozark Mix in with regards to bookings. In the wedding business, January, at least for us, January is always the busiest month for bookings that we have. We have booked more events this January than any other January combined. And here is why this is happening. The number one reason that people book with us, because we have this on our lead form. I actually ask for this information when people give us their info for us to see if we're available, is I say, how did you hear about us? And y'all, 78% of our couples right now came from a vendor referral. 78%. It's wild. It wasn't that way in the beginning, but it is that way now, right? And so all of the ad spend that I'm doing on Instagram and Facebook, all that just gets amplified because that's being reinforced by their vendors. And their vendors are telling them, oh yeah, Ozark Mix is awesome. So the second thing that I would think that you would want to do as you begin to break into this industry is simply to develop relationships with people in the industry right now. Take them to coffee, take them to lunch, give value to them. Okay. And here's how you find them. Okay. This is your tip. All right. So what you want to do is you want to find all of the venues that are in your area that you would want to service inside of your company. And as you do that, go to their Instagram and begin to look at pictures of events that have happened in the last, say, 3 months. Okay. Tap on them. These tags are going to pop up. Begin to research those tags. Okay. Research, find out who wedding planners are, find out who photographers are, find out who florists are. And then what you want to do is you want to begin to network with those people. Use Instagram, use Facebook Messenger, use Instagram DM. Begin to develop relationships with these people. Tell them who you are, what you're trying to do, and see if you could take them or their team. A lot of them have teams. The way to their heart is through their team. If you can treat their team really well, hey, can I bring your team coffee or donuts and talk to you during a team meeting or something like that? Those are golden moments. Okay. And so what that will do is it will allow you to build up this network of people, and they're going to eventually give you a shot at one of their events. Here's why. Okay. As private event, vendors, we want to be working with people that we like, right? We're going to be spending all Saturday night, all Friday night, all Sunday night with people. And so it might as well, y'all, be someone that we really, really like and we want to spend time with. And so that's why being, on a wedding vendor sort of recommendation list is so important. Okay. It's so important. I cannot stress it enough. And so what you want to do is you want to provide value to those teams. And then when they give you your shot, you got to give it all, and you got to send thank you notes, and you've got to really foster those relationships. We send Christmas cards to our vendors. We have open houses at our studio. Like, the vendor community here in Northwest Arkansas is everything to us. Why? Because they're contributing 78% of my income this month has come from a wedding vendor recommendation. Y'all, it's huge. Do not sleep on wedding vendor relationships. Your talent will only take you so far. I promise you. The relationships in this business are what catapult your business. It does. And this year we're starting to see the fruit of that now almost 5 years in. So it's crazy. We're grateful for that. And then finally, the way that I would venture to say that you want to break into the private events business is your dedication to content. Okay. You just want to be active as much as you possibly can on social media. I cannot stress this enough. Like, your Instagram must show that you DJ all the time. Like, it doesn't matter if it's at a live event or if it's in your bedroom, or it doesn't matter. People need to know that that's what you do. So if you're talking about, your last mountain bike ride or your last, girls' night, that's not going to get it done. You've got to put out content as a DJ so much that it just literally overwhelms the algorithm and the audience, and everybody knows that you're a DJ. So the biggest thing that I would say for people who are trying to break into the private events business and the wedding business is that you've got to show that that's what you do, and you've got to say that all the time. Like in your post, be like, I'm taking on clients for 2025 right now. I'm taking on clients for the end of 2024. Like it's just got to be front of mind. It's got to be front of mind, and that way people know that that's what you do. You know, that especially if you're a club DJ, you want to begin to sort of develop a brand around that you do private events. You don't just work in the club. You don't just do, those one-off club nights, or you don't just have that residency. You actually will take on other clients and build it into your ecosystem inside of social media. And I promise you, it's going to take off. Here's what I want you to do. If you need some help with social media and you need some help with your own content, we just rolled out a bunch of resources for wedding DJs, and you can go to our Instagram right now, go to @OzarkMixDJ, go to the profile. There'll be a spot there that says resources for wedding vendors. When you go in there, you're going to get a bunch of wedding DJ tools, and one of those is a big content guide. Okay. And if you can't find that content guide, just DM me and I'll send it to you. Okay. I promise you, it's going to make the biggest difference in your life by putting out content as much as humanly possible for your wedding business profile. Because if no one knows that that's what you do, then no one knows what you do. Like that. That's just the bottom line. So as much content as you can humanly pump out as a DJ, the better. Okay. Now, I'm going to give a couple of extra tips. Okay. The best way to break into the wedding space or the private event space is to make it easy for people to book you. Okay. The worst thing that you could do is create barriers for potential clients to have to push through to get on your calendar or get to you or understand your pricing. So here's what I need you to do. It's very, very simple. You're going to want to create a one-page website. It can be a link in bio. It doesn't matter. One page, that's it. You can do it through Squarespace. You can do it through a company called Flowdesk. You can do it through link in bio. There's all kinds. You can do it through Stand Store. It doesn't matter. But there needs to be one spot where you put your pricing. Just develop, hey, this is how much it's going to cost to do a ceremony cocktail reception, and a place where that person can get onto your calendar and book a call with you so that you can share with them your process. It doesn't have to be but about a 15-minute Zoom call or phone call. I prefer Zoom, to be honest with you. It's better to do a Zoom call. And so all you got to do is go to Calendly. That's a calendar app, and you feed Calendly your availability. So maybe it's after work. Maybe you're working full time and you can only take phone calls from 5:30 to 7:30, or you've got kids, or you're a single mom and you're doing the thing. Like, just figure out on Calendly when you can take phone calls and people can book a call with you so that you can give them a proposal. Like, it just cannot be this like back and forth talking through Instagram and email me here, email me that. That's the way that business gets lost. But if there's a way for them to just book with you right away, hit you up, you give them straight up information like, this is what our pricing is. I'm available your day. Let's get on a phone call and lock this down. That's the way that you can really, really, really amp it up. Okay. Now, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing several different types of workshops and classes for you guys in order to help you put together a system to where you can begin to gather more leads and get those leads through and do a lot of sell through for those, because that's kind of where the world that I live in. Rev is on so much on our tech and our talent and our performance side, and that's the side that he's really, really good in. The side that I kind of live in is just like the business side, the marketing side, the social media, the content. And we work together just beautifully like that. And so we're going to begin to put together just workshop after workshop after workshop to just help you guys get to the next level in your business. It's what we're passionate about. It's why we built the studio. It's why we do what we do. And we're loving the podcast. We're loving the engagement on the podcast. So if you like all this stuff, if you want to send me an email, it's russ@ozarkmixdj.com. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Send us a DM, send Rev a DM. All his stuff is on @ozarkmixdj on Instagram, and you can find him in all the tags. He's there all over the place. And then he sits right here next to me in the office. So we're readily available, ready to answer any questions that you have. I promised you 15 minutes of value. I hope that I've delivered. For those of you who have been listening and watching, I hope you have a great rest of your night. And again, keep Rev in your thoughts and prayers, y'all, because he's DJing at Mardi Gras and we don't want to lose him. Y'all be good, and we'll see you next week with Rev. I promise you.